taste isn't bad. It's just like after it sits for a second, it gets really hot.
I'm still recovering from this one.
Yeah, me too.
So to just layer them on, to layer them on top of each other. Oh, you might have to interview me. Hey everyone, I'm Lindsay, Miss Florida, your host of Hot Shots, and we are here in downtown Sanford at the Spice is Nice. I'm joined today by a very special guest, collegiate softball player, and we are going to dive right in and get things warmed up with Kayla Alexandre. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I don't know if you'll be so happy at the end of this, but we're happy to have you here.
Yes, I'm excited.
So what's like your heat tolerance?
I don't really know.
We'll find out.
Yeah, I feel like I'll be able to tolerate the first couple. We'll see.
So before I ask you my customary first question, let's go ahead and load some up on here to make things interesting. Oh, it's a thick one. That always makes me nervous. I feel like there's just like a whole pepper jammed up in there.
Right.
All right, so the first one that we're trying is coconut hot sauce. It's said to be, actually, let me see that bottle. That looks good. Yes, okay. She's going for it. Okay, coconut hot sauce. Let's see if there's any special notes. No special notes. All right. So cheers, Kayla. Cheers.
Oh, it's good. I actually like that one.
It's very good. But you know, I think that's the hottest level one that I've ever tried on this show. So that makes me a little nervous for the rest of the lineup. But let's just go ahead and dive right in. So as a pageant girl, I always like to ask, especially athletes, some fun random pageant questions I've been asked.
Okay.
So if you could be any kitchen appliance, what would you be and why?
That's an interesting question. I feel like I'd be like an air fryer. I feel like it's multi-use. I feel like a lot of people, it's just their go-to. I use it a lot, so.
I love that because that was my answer when I was 10 years old on stage, except I said like a toaster oven because the air fryer hadn't really like become all popular yet. But that's exactly what I said. I was like, there's so many uses for it.
Yeah.
So I love that.
Very versatile.
And then if you could be anybody's pet, not what pet, but whose pet would you be? Any celebrity.
Any celebrity. I feel like Rod Wave. It's a very random answer, but I feel like he's a very chill guy.
Yeah.
Has a lot of money. He's a good singer.
Think he would spoil his pets nicely?
Yes, I feel like. Yeah, I feel like he eats well, so I would eat well, you know?
I know, if I want to be someone's pet, I want them to feed me like fresh food every day. I don't want the dry brown nuggets. I want the food with the hot sauce on it, something delicious. Exactly. So I love that. All right, so you lived here in Seminole County growing up. You played softball here locally. So tell me a little bit about that, what growing up here was like and your softball career journey thus far.
I feel like it was pretty fun growing up. Like travel ball was really fun. I started playing at Oviedo Little League, so pretty locally. I actually started playing by accident, and I had a lot of fun playing my first couple years, and then I started travel ball. It's been pretty cool meeting a lot of people and growing up with them and them doing really well in their careers and playing at different schools. So
that's awesome. Cool. Well, let's go ahead and dive into sauce number 2. So I love that you mentioned that you kind of like got into it accidentally.
Yeah.
So tell me about that. What was the happy accident that turned out to be a softball career?
Yeah, so my grandpa.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, wow, you put a lot.
I think that's like a pepper.
Oh, man. My grandpa played baseball, and they, oh, man.
We're consistent.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Can I dump some of that off?
Sure, if you must. Okay, so this one is the Miller Sweet and Spicy Banana Pepper Sauce. So let's do this, and then you tell me the accident story, because I want to see you sweat a little bit.
Okay. Oh, that one's less spicy than the first one.
I know. Oh.
Never mind.
Maybe not.
A little bit.
Maybe not. I'm going for seconds on that one.
Yeah, that one was good. But my grandpa played baseball back in the Dominican Republic, and then my brother, they convinced him to start playing. While he was playing, I was watching during his first practice, and then I walked over to the softball field next to it, saw a bunch of girls playing, and I sat next to my mom, and I was like, girls play baseball? Like, what is this? And then she signed me up. I didn't really want to, but she signed me up, and then, yeah, I've just been playing ever since then.
I love that. My mom signed me up for many sports, and it was an accident.
Yeah.
Not a good accident. It was a tragic accident. I remember one of my first Little League soccer games, you know, and being the person I turned out to be today, it's not surprising that I was not very athletic on the field. But I remember being at a soccer game, and this one little girl, you know, she tripped, so she got a boo-boo on her knee, and I begged my coach to let me sit on the bench instead of her because I just did not want to play. It was not for me,
gosh.
and so my mom was like, Lindsay, we're taking you out if you're not gonna play. And I'm like, please. And then she signed me up for dance. So I needed a little bit more glitz and glamour in my life.
Yeah.
So, but I love that you like mentioned that you didn't think that like girls played baseball. So tell me a little bit about that. Did you have any like female role models in softball or anything, or did you kind of pave your own way?
I feel like once I started playing more, I started watching the World Series because like it was on TV, and you know, I feel like I really liked watching Alicia Ocasio play. She played at Florida, and she was really good. I feel like that would probably be one of my role models when it comes to softball. I liked watching her, or Sierra Romero. They were very fun to watch. So
that's awesome. And so, do you have any like career highlights thus far that you think that you're very proud of that you've accomplished?
I feel like in high school I had a better career than I have had in college so far. I got close to the home run record in high school. I didn't quite make it, but
that's awesome.
I was player of the year for Seminole County my senior year of high school, so that was pretty cool. I feel like that's my big accolade.
Yeah, that's amazing. I feel like she's downplaying herself. You know, she's so humble over here, unlike me, who's sitting here with a crown propped upon her head. We need to get you one that says Seminole County Athlete of the Year. All right. Get the team on it. All right, so let's dive right into our third sauce. So this one is Double Comfort Memphis Heat Red Pepper Sauce. And on this bottle, it says 100% of profits go to hunger relief charities. So our audience at home knows we will suffer, but for the relief of hunger of others.
Doing it for a cause.
The selfless people that we are, we're gonna dive right into this.
Oh, wow, okay. That was a lot.
A generous pour. And you know, I'm just gonna take all of it.
Okay. You're
all right.
better than me.
1, 2, 3.
Ooh, that one's a little bit more spicy.
I just single-handedly ended world hunger with that spoonful right there. All right, so do you have any like really funny moments growing up playing softball, or any moments that you look back on and you're like, oh my gosh, I just can't believe that I did that in public?
Funny moments? Oh, I actually have a really random one. So it was probably like my sophomore or junior year of high school. I was at a tournament, I think it was in Atlanta, Georgia, and there were a whole bunch of college coaches there, and I was deep in my recruiting process, and I was walking to go to my mom to get like water or something, or I don't know, maybe to the bathroom, and my cleat got stuck in like the crack of, I guess, like this pavement. Yeah. And I tripped and fell in front of a bunch of college coaches, and you know, I will never forget that moment. Very humbling.
I feel that. No, I always love hearing people's embarrassing stories and seeing like how they've not necessarily overcome it, because how do you overcome like tripping on the sidewalk and getting back up, but like how you've made such a successful career for yourself. Yeah. And I don't know if you like watched my face during that question, but I'm here like,
I know, I'm sweating a little bit.
So let me get a sip of this water. And you know what? I say this every single time that I should have brought in a jug of milk instead of.
Yeah, right, into the water.
But I'm learning. So, you know, season 2, I'll have milk.
Yes.
All right. So I was reading on your bio, let's dive into this next, that you have a secret talent.
A secret talent? Do I? Do I? I don't know. That I speak Spanish. Is that my secret talent?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's like fluently?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I took 5 years of Spanish and I'm still no good.
Well, I grew up speaking Spanish with like my grandparents and my mom.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, I forgot to pour She's putting it off, you know.
I normally do that too. I feel you. So this is, let's see here, the Stranglehold hot sauce. And I always like to examine the pictures here. So this is it looks like a pepper man being choked to death by a cowboy. So that sounds really user-friendly.
I'm gonna need water after this one.
Yep. All right, let's do it. And this, okay, so we have perspective. This one is rated about a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, which I don't necessarily trust, but we're gonna do it anyway. All right.
The initial taste isn't bad. It's just like after it sits for a second, it gets really hot.
I'm still recovering from this one.
Yeah, me too.
So to just layer them on, to layer them on top of each other. Oh, you might have to interview me.
Yeah, it just progressively just ramps it up.
Oh my gosh. So Did I read that you can balance a spoon on your nose?
Oh yeah. When I was younger, my younger brother and I used to do that all the time.
So how do you even discover that you can do that?
I feel like it was something that we had to have seen on like Disney Channel, because there's no way that we just came up with that. But yeah, we would just sit in our like playroom and we would balance spoons on our nose.
I love that, because I actually tried to do that as a child and I couldn't.
Really?
And I always tried to find something that I was like really cool at and that was really different. Mm-hmm. I'm about as average as they get. I got double jointed thumbs, that's about it.
No, I don't think I can. Yeah.
But she can balance a spoon on her nose.
Yes.
All right, so what do you see in the future? What are your future plans for softball or life? Where do you want to take this?
So I want to graduate in the next 2 years, school, and then I want to get my master's after that. And then hopefully I will continue playing softball with the Dominican Republic Olympic team.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's that like?
It's really fun, actually. It's very interesting because you get to meet people from like all over the country. Like most recently we played in Guatemala. So that was pretty cool. Get to be with people from my home country. So
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty fun. And get to I guess playing there is very different too, because we only speak in Spanish when we play. So coming from the United States, speaking in only English when we play softball, some terms don't really translate.
I was going to ask that. Like,
Yeah.
what are the things that you yell at each other in Spanish compared to English?
So I guess my biggest shock was so I'm a catcher, and the pitchers were pitching to me and they were telling me their pitches. And I remember I had to talk to my mom after this, because one of the girls was like, I'm throwing a reta, right? And I was like, what is a reta? Like, I don't know what that means. And so I went up to my mom afterwards and I just smiled and was catching the ball and hoping for the best, because I didn't know what was coming at me. But I talked to my mom and I was like, what is that? And she was like, Kayla, it's just a fastball. It's just a fastball. And I was like, oh, wow. So I was just catching fastballs and I was over here trying to figure out
She's trying to catch and also translate her head, so that's pretty impressive also.
Yeah.
And I saw also that you've done a lot of charity work in your life too, so before we get into that, I would love to make this as painful as it can get while talking about the most sentimental part, I'm sure, of your journey thus far. So this one is our final sauce, Love Burns, which is made right here in Sanford, Florida, hotter than L. And so it has a little skull hand crushing a brain, so that's what we'll feel like after this. All right, dive right into it. I can see peppers.
I'm still recovering from the last
I know.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right.
Oh, wow.
Tell me about all the kind deeds you've done for the world.
Wow, I need water first. I used to do Habitat for Humanity when I was in high school. I haven't done it recently because I've been moving around a lot from city to city, but I used to love doing that with my friends. We would go on just every Saturday morning and we would go help out at the Habitat house, and it was really cool seeing the house built from nothing. You would literally help rake the land, the open land, and get all the dirt prepared, and you would help build. Oh my gosh.
I know, she's keeping it together. I'm
sweating, but yeah, you would just really get to see the whole process of a house being built, from just the open land to the full house, and you got to work with the people who are actually going to be living in the house, so I feel like that was pretty cool.
That's awesome. And so you're not originally from Florida, you moved here, right?
No, I was born in New York, but I've lived here all pretty.
So what's your favorite part of Seminole County?
I really just like hang around UCF. I hang out with a lot of my friends around UCF. We go get sushi and boba in the little plaza right next to UCF a lot. So
that's awesome. Okay, so I gotta ask, which of these was your favorite?
I feel like this one was my favorite.
So Kayla is a fan of the sweet and spicy banana pepper sauce, and I have to say I think that was my winner too, but I will always have a special place in my heart for hotter than L, because I feel like that's how we typically end the show, in heaping amounts of insufferable pain.
Yeah, that was a lot.
And that's very on trend with my life. So my final question to you, are there any pieces of advice that you would give to someone that's looking to get into softball, or someone that maybe wants to follow in your footsteps?
Yeah, I would say just to be really resilient. I think that you go through a lot of challenges, and it's a game of failure. So just being resilient and working on, checking on yourself, but also don't be too hard on yourself, because it is a game of failure, and just keep pushing through it. So.
Well said. And then, as you're looking forward to another season of softball, which one of these do you think would take out your opponent?
That one.
Hotter than L. There we go.
Sure.
We're going to be winning some games next season and throwing this in the water jug. I love it. Well, thank you so much, Kayla, for joining us today. It's so great having you here on Hot Shots, and we're looking forward to seeing what's next for you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Hey guys, it's Dino here, owner of Spices Nice. You seen them try these sauces? Come on down yourself. Give it a shot. Are you strong enough? Can you handle it? Won't know until you try it.